Do these control you?
Welcome back to another episode. I'm your nerdy bearded buddy, and today we're looking at South of Midnight. South of Midnight released on the 8th of April this year for the Xbox Series S and S, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and Windows. Now, full disclosure, I did receive a free copy of this game for review via a review code so I could cover this game on my Series X. Now, Xbox and Compulsion Games gave me the code, but fear not, because this is not going to affect my honesty in this review, and it's going to be my complete honest thoughts and impressions. Now, I just want to reiterate that this is a brand new IP. This is not a remake or a remaster. This is a brand new IP, and for me, I think this is important to try and support nowadays, especially. I also really appreciate that this game, being a new IP, went into really unfamiliar territory, being Southern folklore, and I think it's commendable. So, let's jump into the review. Players take on the role of Hazel, who learns an ancient weaving power to explore the deep South mythos in order to search for her missing mum after a hurricane sweeps through her town. Hazel is called to become a weaver, which is a magical mender of broken bonds and spirits. With these new abilities, Hazel will confront and subdue dangerous creatures, untangle the webs of her family's past, and if she's lucky, find a place that feels like home. Throughout her journey, she must cleanse stigma and defeat enemies known as haints, both of which are physical manifestations of deep-rooted sorrows and trauma that have festered for decades. Now, let's get the surface level stuff out of the way, like gameplay, like everyone's mentioning. Yes, the gameplay style is basically hack and slash, but it's so much more than that. Like I said, you take on haints and stigma, and in this aspect, the fighting feels like it's for a good reason. You're trying to subdue enemies, you're trying to heal people's wounds and trauma. It's really interesting. So in this sense, it's not just mindless fighting, it's for a reason. Also for gameplay, fighting, spellcasting, or weaving as it's called, and just the platforming, it's really tight and responsive here. It feels great. I thoroughly enjoyed slashing up haints and other monsters and bosses, and then using the spells to slow them down, or like stop them or push them or grapple them, and just like so much more. It was all really well executed and it felt seamless. In my mind, it felt like I was playing an Xbox 360 game again, and like I mean this in a good way. It's hard to fully explain, but there's something about the simplicity of the combat and like the simplicity of the platforming and exploration. It all just felt really familiar, nothing groundbreaking here, but still really well done, and in my opinion, really welcome. In a world full of so many sandbox and RPG games, this familiar gameplay and linear game style felt really welcome and fresh. I can see this, however, turning some people off, but for me, I really appreciated it. And that being said, this is only one side of the game, the other being story, which I'll get into soon. Gameplay wise, and I mean this in a good way, I got many different feelings and vibes of this game. So I got some Infamous vibes. I could also see platforming similarities in climbing with games like Uncharted, and I really felt like using the push spell was very similar to The Force Unleashed. You can also use spells to traverse and bring items from the past into the present for a short time, called echoes, which we've also seen tossed around in other video games. They can help you do like little platforming puzzles. It's not bad, the puzzles, like they're pretty simple. Now also for like spells and stuff, there is like a skill upgrade tree that there is available, and you know, it's not the deepest in the history of gaming, but it is still present and it works really, really well with no confusion, and it has some really cool upgrades. Look, so you might be thinking, okay, so the gameplay does seem a little repetitive and doesn't do anything new, and honestly, you might be right here, but the story is special. My lord, South of Midnight is so heartfelt in the story department. Now, I want to say, in terms of story, very minimal things because I don't want to spoil it. This is something that you need to play yourself and just experience like I did, because it makes it all that much more special. From characters like Hazel and her mum, the search for her mum, characters like Rhubarb and Benji, oh my god, like these are just early characters, by the way, just so you're aware. It's all just so thought-provoking, and it strikes you so much that you need to play the game further and further just to hear their stories, at least in my experience.
Dad, if you're up there, keep her safe.
Now, obviously, this game is set in the Deep South and it lovingly depicts it. I myself have never been there, and Admittedly, I know very little, but I can tell at a surface level glance that the game's setting has been so lovingly created and represented appropriately. It's just story, gameplay, and characters, and a beautiful setting. The southern folklore here was so interesting and made me want to dive in deeper myself. For example, Two-Toed Tom is really interesting for me. It's actually a legend from the 1920s and it's fascinating. So it's about a alligator who left 2 footprints with only 2 toes on the left foot from a steel trap. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. Like it's really fascinating. So in this aspect, I think that for people who are interested in folklore like myself, or anyone who knows the folklore or some folklore already, this will be a really big selling point for you. And obviously this story is just brilliant. This will be a huge selling point too. It really shines in this game and it's really one of the strongest aspects here. It's emotional, it's gripping, it's heartfelt. I don't want to spoil it. Like honestly, that's all I'm going to say. Graphics wise, this game looks stunning. Like absolutely beautiful. From rich shadows, vivid colors, beautiful environments, from trees and swamps and rivers. It's all awe-inspiring and eye candy. Cutscenes also lovingly emulate stop motion animation with the option to toggle it off, but in my mind, I thought it was beautiful and it'd be a disservice to turn it off. Music here too, it absolutely needs to be spoken about. It's so atmospheric. It connects so tightly to the southern folklore and the setting and the context. It was absolutely beautiful. It added so much emotion and gravity to situations. Just absolutely fantastic and phenomenal. To describe it would be wrong of me, so just listen to this brief snippet for yourself and see how gorgeous it sounds.
My ticket to hell.
Also, the voice acting here for the whole cast pretty much is just brilliant. It's filled with life, it's filled with charisma. It's so well portrayed. It's emotional. It's just really well done. The cast deserve really big props. It's just a game that feels so filled to the brim with style. Like even when you die or fall, the way you come back, the animations, it's just all so great, and like it captures your eyes and the imagination. Even like when you run and jump, the animations look really like lifelike. And really dramatic. It's so cool. I love it. This game takes roughly 10-ish hours, give or take, to get through. So if you're looking for a huge 20+ hour game, this is not going to be for you. But if you want something more digestible between big games, you can't go wrong here. Performance wise, as far as I could tell, it looks to be 60 frames per second here on the Series X where I played. I'm no Digital Foundry though, but it was pretty smooth. There were some dips in frame rate here and there. To me, they seemed very far and few in between, and I'm sure they can be patched in the future. I know it's a new game and like, you know, performance wise should be pretty solid, but yeah, I did see that, I'm not gonna lie. By now, it's pretty clear that I love South of Midnight. However, it doesn't do anything new and can sometimes feel repetitive, but the story here more than makes up for it all, and in my opinion, makes it well worth it, along with the interesting folklore. I personally love this game. I can see why some people might have problems with it, but I really dug the game. Alright guys, that's just my thoughts and impressions on South of Midnight. Have you played it? Are you planning on picking it up? Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe. Let's talk South of Midnight. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.